Hello there, Captains, and welcome to another episode of Game Fact Files. Today I'll experiment with a deck that will probably perform very well against heavy metas with leaders like Luffy, Crocodile, Queen, and any deck with heavy Don cost characters like Mihawk, Kaido, etc. Before we jump into it, if you are enjoying the content, take a moment to subscribe and let's start building our deck. My leader for this one will be Monkey D. Luffy from the red starter. I will start adding 4 Nami since it's going to be a Straw Hat deck, and she is going to be our searcher. I'll add 4 copies of Nico Robin, and then 4 copies of the new Roronoa Zoro that I always wanted to test when OP04 released. If those two are played on curve, getting the rested Dawn from leader on Nico Robin, you can KO annoying characters like Green Nami, Blue Blocker Luffy, and more. Luffy is the only leader that can have this advantage on 5 Dawn. I'm also going to add 4 copies of Otama that does the same effect, but Zoro gives great tempo since he is 6,000 power. The next characters I'm going to add is 4 copies of Starter Zoro and 4 copies of the 5,000 Zoro. I was on a dilemma between Zoro and Sanji for the deck. Sanji can perform better versus decks like Crocodile that bounces everything back on hand, but on all other situations, Starter Zoro is a beast. He not only hits for 7,000 with a rested Dawn, but is very difficult for the opponent to kill him on swingback, since he is 6,000 on your opponent's turn. He needs to invest a lot of Dawn to KO him, and he'll run behind on board control. And while we are talking about rested Dawn, I'm going to add 4 copies of Starter Nami, since most of the meta decks don't have early removals. I will then add 3 copies of Starter Luffy for finisher. One spot in the deck is for Newgate, that will maybe be replaced later with the new Luffy from the new starter. I am just keeping him inside to test the curve. I will add 4 copies of Sanji for his counter, and also his drawing card ability, in case I am not getting enough hits. The last character I'm going to add is Marco. Teching about Marco, I'm going to add 2 pistols and 2 Fire Fist inside for removals, and then use 2 copies of Round Table. All those cards played along with a Round Table can instant KO everything on board, and no one expects a Nami to be able to kill a 10 Don Kaido or a 10 Don Doflamingo. Marco and Fire Fist will also help discarding any excess amount of events that I'm going to have on hand. The last spots will be for 2 copies of Guard Point, 1 copy of Radical Beam, and 1 copy of Diable Jambe. And now that we have all 51 cards, let's jump on the sim to test some games so we can see if we need to tweak anything later on. Okay guys, I'm going to keep this hand. I will play Nami and pass turn. While I can get 2 extra Dawn and attack for 7,000, I am going attack first before playing Nico Robin now, since I'm afraid of a 3,000 worlds trigger. Okay, here it is. I'm going to take the first damage because I need cards. There is no point to play defensive versus Crocodile. And here is another one. I will play 5 Don Luffy here, so I will be more efficient with my Don. I will keep Marco on hand in case he drops any weird blocker later. Another trigger? He is now at 8 Dawn, so at the next turn we can expect a Mihawk or Kaido. Sentomaru can't stay in board for sure, so we have a nice target for our Fire Fist. If you remember, the deck list doesn't contain a lot of 2,000 counters, so having the board control is crucial, since we will need to be pushing constantly and never stay behind. Okay, let's kill this mofos and we'll push the board with a Zoro. Actually, I am not going to play a buffed Zoro, because he will probably get bounced either from a card or Crocodile's ability. So I think I'm going to play both of them, and attack for less damage. Okay guys, we don't mind the bounce on the Zoro at all. He is only attacking for 5,000. I should expect a Doflamingo here. I can kill the blocker with Marco and open the road for the rush characters. His hand is almost empty. Okay, since he took this damage, the plan has changed. Since I had a Diabli draw, I will go all in with Luffy and set lethal next turn. Okay, he can't block 15,000 with that hand. I am going to take a mulligan, because the deck already has plenty of 5 Dawn characters, and I don't want to get bricked. Let's see what Nami will give us for the next round. Okay, I am taking a Robin for next turn. I'm also going to skip the rested Dawn ability until round 3 due to possible trigger. Let's play Nico Robin and skip our turn. I will take the damage since I am the one who will keep pushing in most of the game. One of the few situations I am blocking the first is versus Katakuri, because he usually hits for 7,000 later on. We don't have a lot of options for this round. I will prefer playing the 3 Dawn cost Zoro here, so I can have extra Dawn to invest on attacks. My opponent will have 6 Dawn, so if he's going to play a Miss Sunday with 5, he will only be able to attack Nico Robin for 6,000, so I will keep 1 Dawn open to play the guard point. This is exactly what I wanted. She is also getting instant killed with Zoro on our turn. If he spends all Dawn on Crocodile, I can finish him with the table and don't even give him the chance to play his minus Dawn ability. Okay, we got 1,000 worlds instead. I'm going to save Nico Robin because if Zoro gets another world, I don't want to be with an empty board with this hand. If he blocks the attacks, I will drop a Sanji to get an extra card. In case I haven't mentioned it, this deck always prefers to go first since most of the tech cards are on 3 and 5 cost. I already have 2 Robin on hand, so I'm going for the pistol here. I will attack before I play the Robin here as well, so I avoid Thunderbolt trigger. I will block this one because he will keep attacking for 7 later on, and my deck doesn't have a lot of counter cards. I usually take the first damage against late game decks except this one. If he starts throwing 10 Don Linlin after Linlin, the game is over for me, so I need to save the first lives if possible. This is a super curve turn, killing the Sanji with our Zoro. Let's hope he doesn't get another one from his life trigger now. And this is a misclick on end turn without attacking with Luffy. No point to save Nico Robin here even if I had more counters on hand. Okay, here's our round table arrived on time. I will drop Nico Robin to set the kill for the next turn, and I will also attack with a Zoro for distraction. I will drop table on Vanilla and kill it with Marco. I will use Robin's ability on the blocker while attacking his leader. Unfortunately, another Thunderbolt trigger. Okay, since we didn't get a 10 Don Linlin, I think we are more than good. Time to kill the blocker with the pistol and continue pressing the board. Not much to take here. I took the Radical just in case I could save Marco after an attack. Okay, if he doesn't drop Linlin on this round as well, this is another win. That's all for today, Captains. Feel free to drop any comments about the deck and tell me your opinions about any tweaks. We are getting new red cards on the next starter, so we will make a lot of adjustments.